Hey, welcome to Friday. So glad you're with me. I'm going to share a little bit what's happening with me, I guess, with my banjo pilgrimage and this last couple of weeks. 2 weeks ago, I took part in what they called a banjo boot camp. My instructor called it that, and it was actually it turned out to be an 8-day, 1 hour a day time period. We got together and worked on a sheet of music, an exercise he wanted us to work on. And during this time, I also, through him, Tom Collins, he sounded like the drink, right? Anyway, Tom Collins, he had a three-part series where he interviewed a fellow called an expert in the field of banjo history, Tony Thomas. Too many T words here. And so it went from, how the banjo that we understand and looked like, how its part came to America, looking maybe a lot like this. And during a time period, it became, except this is a longer one, this is another evolution of the banjo through Pete Seeger in the 60s, but came through a shorter version that looked like this with what he called the hoop, the hoop instead of the gourd, the hoop body here. And I remember, this really impacted me a lot, really deeply. And so part of my voyage or my journey with the banjo, actually starts with pretty simple songs that I learned out of elementary, like old Suzanna, which I'm going to play today, and some Stephen Foster version, some other things. And, and I remember in the sixth grade, my teacher talked about how Stephen Foster was like the first prominent or American musician. And, that's cool, right? And I knew the banjo come out of, African American people, culture. And, I kind of thought a little bit, I knew that Stephen Foster was somebody that never been to the South. He wrote about a lot of songs about the South, but had never really been there except for maybe one time, I guess during his honeymoon. And so he was actually taking part in what was happening. He was writing songs for the blackface troops that were very popular during that time and influenced a lot what we have today. In fact, he had signed a contract with the Christie Minstrels, and who traveled in a blackface troupe all over Europe, England, and the northern United States mostly. And so it helped bring a deeper appreciation of what I hold in my hand today and the music that I play. In fact, to give you an idea, which I was definitely not taught this in school, in Old Suzanna, the original version has a second verse that we don't sing. I've heard it on YouTube, and it's quite offensive for us people of the 21st century because it has the N-word in it. And as I read the verse, it doesn't make any sense to the rest of the thing, and I'm sure it's put in more for the blackface minstrel troops. So anyway, I wanted you to have that because he wrote, give you an idea of the period, he wrote Old Suzanna in 1848 and later wrote other songs we know that we have even done for you. He's done like Hard Times Come Again No More. He wrote that too. And anyway, so I appreciate the history of this wonderful instrument, and the people had brought it to me. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and try to do this so I don't get too caught up in the feelings that I have about some of this. Oh, Suzanna. Well, I come from Alabama with this banjo on my knee. I'm going to Louisiana for my true love for to see. It rained all night the day I left, the weather it was fine. The sun so hot I froze to death. Susanna, don't you cry. Oh, Susanna, don't you cry for me. Come from Alabama with this banjo on my knee. But I had a dream the other night when everything was still. Dreamed I saw Suzanna, she was coming over the hill. Buckwheat cake was in her mouth, a tear was in her eye. I said, I come from Alabama, Suzanna, don't you cry. Oh, Suzanna, don't you cry for me. I come from Alabama with this banjo on my knee. Going to New Orleans, then I look around. If I find Suzanna, I will fall down on the ground. And if I do not find her, you know I'll surely die. When I'm dead and buried, Suzanna, don't you cry. Well, oh, Suzanna, oh, don't you cry for me. I come from Alabama with this banjo on my knee. Oh, Suzanna, don't you cry for me. Well, I come from Alabama with this banjo on my knee. There you are. I hope you appreciate it as much as I do. I love the song. It has a deeper meaning for me now, and I appreciate that. Anyway, thank you so very much for being with me, and I hope to see you again next week. Y'all come back now. Y'all here? Bye.